And welcome back to PGL's PUBG Invitational for Game 2 on Day 3. We have a new group with us. We have our analyst Lothar now, as well as our two other casters, WGF Moses.
Never seen before.
And some guy from some dead esport that I've heard of.
League of Legends.
Toby1, and of course, Sir Action Slacks. Guys,
Hi.
Hello.
Now we are one game in, and we have seen something that we have yet to see this entire tournament, which is a Korean team coming in first place.
MVP.
MVP. You can't say the word the MVPs.
MVP.
Hey!
With the jokes.
That's why he's a streamer, guys. He knows the jokes.
He's got the jokes.
It just, rolled off the tongue.
Wow.
Just on its own.
It's easy. Yeah. Well, I mean, is that performance surprising to you at all? Or do you think this has kind of been
No, I mean, we've seen that trend in the past where the first couple of days doesn't go that well, start to learn the environment, get a little bit more confident, and then we've seen it with Entis. Now we're seeing it with MVP as they get more comfortable and do better.
It also seemed to be the greatest circle for MVP. Like, they've always been dropping Pollyanna, and then it's like, okay, I'm going to put the circle right on top of you, and then shift north. Like, every team was going the long way around to try and get in. FaZe actually did almost an entire 360 loop around the Stable Mountain.
Like, that's typical FaZe, though.
They go the complete opposite of what you expect them to,
360, no scope, yes.
So
that's them.
That's their thing.
So I had a question for you guys. Again,
you're at your joke limit. We're cutting you off.
As a new player,
I see Moses'
how important are circles? If I have the worst team in the world, but I'm in a house and the circle's right on top of me, what are the chances that I'm going to win that game?
Depends who you're playing against.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a team like Vitality grab your FaZe against you, they're going to breach your compound and just,
take it away.
Do you want to use the example of yesterday when we had like that Saverni circle and like SST is just sitting in the house the entire time? It's like, so we used to moving, but we're meant to stay.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do we do?
What do we do?
Yeah.
Like, have we got enough loot? Do we go out? No, we could die.
Yeah.
Let's not go out.
Well, look, you can even take a look. Okay, so LGD sitting on Stalber right here. They were holding this radio tower area right here, this garage.
Don't cross swords.
Table. And they were holding that for a really long time, up until the circle forced them to move out. I mean, it's not a bad idea. You can still remain safe, but you have to be able to protect your compound.
Right.
You have to be able to have the sight lines and be able to keep anybody who might be considering rushing down your throat, keep them at bay.
But it seemed to work for LGD. That they still ended up with 8 kills at the end of that. Like it helped that the circle just progressed further to the southwest.
Right.
So they had the perfect chokehold position from the position of power. As well.
Even here, like LGD, we talked about this when we were watching the map stream. Like, everyone had to press towards them this way, and all they did was hold gate here and just make sure that Sun Sister TSM couldn't do anything, and they all eliminated each other. And then ultimately it was just a matter of MVP, OMG at the bottom, just battling it out for the finish.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of one of these misconceptions, or maybe just something that you don't really think about too often. But these teams that end up with 8 kills, like LGD during that last game, they get to this point in the game, they probably are sitting on 0.
Right.
Maybe 1.
Yeah.
It's not until very, very late. I think their first kills might have been picked up when Sun Sister was pushing from the north up there to towards that part of Stalber. That's when they start picking up the kills. They start getting those kills late game, but it's because they were holding that really good position where they could kind of force people into their crosshairs, essentially.
Yeah, well, my counterpoint is that usually in those pro games, you don't see kills till like 15 minutes in.
Yeah, right. It happens all the time.
Exactly.
So to answer your question, I mean, ultimately it's all about positioning in this game, and having a center compound is super important. So it doesn't matter who you are, pro, just a public player. If you have that center compound, your chances of winning increase dramatically, but it's all how you manage that position.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why LGD didn't win.
That's why.
Well, yeah.
Well, LGD didn't win
as well. They're screwed with them.
Because E United.
Yeah, E United, sorry.
Came correct.
All right.
I don't know if you guys saw the reaction from United coach here right now, but he went crazy when they had that team kill, and LG was just like screaming on top of his lungs. It was kind of fun to watch, It's
it's great. Like it's third position for match 9. They're still in 16.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
you have to start
9,
somewhere.
It's the Avalanche, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
you have to start
to be
honest,
honest,
they know that in Australia pretty well.
Avalanches?
Yeah, like on daily basis.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, to be honest, looking at the scoreboard, their tournament is essentially over. I mean, they can't. I don't think there's no way, as far as I can tell.
I don't like these naysayers.
Based on their trajectory and their current performance.
No.
That it's a matter now. It's a matter now of pride.
No.
It's a matter now of pride. Right?
No.
And pride is super important.
I'm sorry,
These are all pro players.
What stops them from getting 40 kills
in
one round?
Yeah,
boom.
And claiming those huge ass points.
Exactly.
Just wanted to point out.
I think it's possible.
Shui.
Yeah.
Just like
hang on. What is it? Just
it's seriously, these are professional players. They have an element of pride, and they have to now use this last game as a springboard to say, listen, we know what we're capable of. We got here. Let's continue this and make this a tournament. Yeah. And you know, looking at the top leaderboard, you have FaZe, Vitality, Groovy. They have 60 total kills. United only has 15. I mean, it's gonna be a huge uphill battle for them.
I don't
goal
disagree.
For them
It
is top 8, right?
But
That's the goal for them.
Okay.
Right. At the top 8, you're gonna have a cutoff in the prize pool, which is bigger.
Yeah.
So first, you want to aim for that, and also finishing top 8 in a tournament like that. I think it's starting to become like a thing for achievements.
Yeah,
like you can say
Mhm.
top 8 in a big tournament, top 4 in a big tournament, top 1, basically. Like that's the cutoff, right?
Right.
And then you can say we're not doing that bad, right? We are in the second half of those teams invited here. All of those teams are expected to perform. It's not like some people are here like out of nowhere.
Right.
I mean, we had open qualifiers, but from the open qualifiers, I actually coming teams that were really proven. And FaZe is coming from the open qualifier.
The
here.
top,
Right,
the top
they had
two
to
teams.
qualify,
You got FaZe and Groovy in there.
Look real quick though. Okay, so E United this past game, 445 points for a second place finish with 4 kills. They are currently.
I'm sick of it.
Hold on. No,
I'm sick of
here
talking
for
about
you right
E
now.
United.
I'm here for you
I'm
right
getting
now.
a new team. I'm out of here. Forget it.
Yeah, find us someone Slack.
You go do that. So they're currently sitting in last place with 1590. First place 3500. So they're 2,000 points down out of first place.
2,000.
2,000.
Yeah.
But they just picked up 445 in one round.
Right.
So how many more rounds do we have? 7 rounds?
Yeah.
7, yeah. Well,
Are you trying to make me to do math right now?
Quick math.
Are you saying
Let's
saying that it's a possibility for them to take first place?
You never know. Vitality might get sick. And
Hey, guys,
FaZe
guys,
might,
stop.
Leave the building?
You just
Stop trying to stop trying to calculate the dream. The dream doesn't have to be based in reality.
Yeah,
That's why it's a dream right now.
Exactly, it's
All
a
I'm
dream.
saying is that they
Exactly.
still have something to play for.
Of course they
and,
do.
And it's more than just pride, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously the cash as well, but at the same time, I'm not saying that they have no chance
They're
to
not
make a showing.
relegated to 16th by any means.
No, of course not. They're not going to be. I'm not saying essentially they're not stuck in 16th place, but they can certainly make a run at teams like TSM, for instance. One of the other teams that have been slowly, well, not slowly doing anything. They've been stuck in the middle of the leaderboard for most of the tournament. So it's a matter of just putting the rubber to pavement now, moving the way at the leaderboard. This is where you start.
From this game that we just had, there's also a very interesting aspect of it because all the top teams actually finished really low. We had Vitality at 16.
Yeah.
We had FaZe at 7 is not low.
Well,
but
for them it's low.
they still don't get a lot of points for that game. That makes it more interesting for the mid game, for the mid bracket to actually follow up, get a higher placement. Now we can see like MVP is at 6th place. Ghost Gaming is still at 5th. We had switches in the top of the bracket, and also for teams like OMG, Entes, TSM, this is the opportunity to get into higher placements.
Uh-oh.
Now we're gonna get a guest.
Hey, I know this guy.
You know what? I'm upset.
All right.
We keep focusing on these teams, and we haven't talked about one time this man and his team. One time.
This guy.
What is this, guys?
Tell us about
I
your
gotta come
team.
all
Tell us
the
about
way.
how much you loved their performance in the
Well,
last round.
first,
Introductions.
introduce yourself, please.
All right, I'm Sean. I'm with Space Station Gaming, and our guys are fraggers. They're super good. We just need to do that.
Why aren't you talking about these fraggers? Huh?
Well,
What's
we were talking about it. We were actually watching the game together in the back as it kind of developed, and I mean that right now it's up to Space Station to kind of determine is the strategy we're using working.
Yeah. I definitely think our team has what it takes to get the kills. I think what we were talking about with the team is they're used to the NA strategy where they believe they're some of the top dogs with these big rotations. They know where to go to get the kills, and they've had some huge high kill games in the NA scene. But then when you come here, you start dealing with other top teams who have the same rotation patterns. And just that last game, we found ourselves sandwiched between FaZe and Kingwin and whoever else, and all of a sudden it's like maybe we should take not the best rotation strategies and not deal with these top teams that are in the same places that we are.
Interesting. So that's like some 4D chess. You guys know the good places that you have to go, but you know that the other guys know the good places.
Yeah.
Well, so are you going to go the bad places?
That's what I told him. I was like, literally do what you know you shouldn't do and just walk there, and you'll probably be all alone because everyone's going to the good spots.
Well, it's something that Camus was talking about when we had him on from E United earlier. He said every tournament basically has its own meta, and it's just a question of how long it takes you to really kind of figure that meta out, and how to incorporate that into your game plan. So do you think that Space Station has kind of gotten to that point now where they've figured out the meta of the tournament? They're getting kind of comfortable?
I don't know if we've figured it out, but they definitely are changing up their play style, and they have some different ideas on how they want to approach things. Then also, we're just a really we're a really strong Southwest team, and it's definitely a Northeast tournament so far.
So far it has been.
Yeah.
It's not a lie at all. Lothar.
I have a question actually, because is this the first tournament with Asian teams in it as well?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. They're learning that as well.
How did it impact on your own gameplay as well?
Very different, just because I don't think people are used to their play styles. They keep saying they have a very H1Z1 play style where they like pop out and do things unexpectedly, or they're driving and they'll like stop and just start shooting, and they're not used to people doing that normally. It's, you know, you bunker up and you get positioned, then you have the fight, and they're like, these guys are ready to have a fight whenever, wherever, and I don't know if that's a good or bad mentality, but it's just something they're not used to.
It's a diversified metagame because of that, right? So that's really cool to see.
I had another noob question.
Go for it.
Map actually
New
matters?
question.
Noob question, sorry. South and North, is that a big deal to you guys? Do teams specifically play better on certain parts of the map? Is that real or what?
I think you just get used to it. It seems like our team really knows every nook and cranny and every spot, and where there's blind spots and where you can ambush. Like, we know a lot about the southern part of the map.
Interesting.
And the northern part, I mean, we can still play it, but it's a little bit less in our favor, I guess, just because we don't know all the perfect spots.
I see. But you can learn it with, practice, and there you
Wow.
go. You get back out there, kiddo. You're really good. That's great. All right. Before we let you go, I do want to know a little bit about your boys. Tell me about their personalities. Wrap up each one of your guys in 1 or 2 words, if you had to. Because I want to know these guys. They're a lot of fun guys. We filmed some stuff in the Dacia together. They're cool.
Yeah. Our team's really interesting. They're just like, they're the guys that are just ready to go out and frag. They're always looking for kills. They're very aggressive. I would say our team is one of the top teams at breaching buildings. We have a very good grenade strategy, whether it's the smoke grenades or breaching a building and throwing grenades into the top and then coming in. I think qualifying for this, we actually wiped a whole bunch of teams through breaching their buildings. And so that's something I've been looking forward to seeing a lot more of. But, yeah, we've had a lot of open play and, again, Northeast circles. So not a ton of breaching going on, but that's what I want to see. Watch for some breaches.
Great. I'm going to call you guys the Breach Boys from now on. All right.
Breach Boys. I like it.
Thank you so much, Breach Man. Get back to your Breach Boys. All right. We'll see you around.
Well, guys, we are about to get into Game 2. It looks like our lobby is populated. We haven't quite started the countdown timer yet, but we haven't had a chance to talk to you guys yet. So what are your kind of storylines that you're looking for going into this second game?
Well, I mean,
what do you want?
For
that
now,
you can get through in about 40 seconds.
Really, now it's about the rise of the Asian teams, the Korean and Chinese teams having better games recently. I would like to see that continue, make that top 5 a little bit more diverse, I suppose, and see if we can get some more action from people who have had a little bit of a struggle so far.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching the guys who are doing the nice lockdowns, like messing with a lot of teams. For example, Groovy, Ghost kind of had their number until the last round yesterday, and today you saw them. The second they knew exactly where Groovy were, Ghost just ran at them. So we've got a lot of these teams who I think are headhunting specific teams. They're following their patterns. They're like, we lock these guys down, we wipe them out, they're our main focus, and then we just play the circle after that point. So teams like Ghost, I know Tainted Minds, if they don't get shot out of vehicles again, they will can do something very similar today as well.
Being the tank.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, we are heading into Game 3. I will let you take it away. WTF Moses, Toby Wan, enjoy.
Thanks, Par. We'll definitely see you guys later. So what have we got? We have a northeast to southwest plane. This is going to allow everyone to go to every single default position they want. We'll see if anyone does something different. And then, of course, the mystery circle.
Yeah, and
do we finally go west?
Yeah, maybe. And I mean, like, maybe. or not to Stolber. I mean,
what was that old song? Go west where the skies are blue.
Yeah,
go west. That's what we've got to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? We were actually sitting there back watching this. I'm like, you know what? I have a pretty good idea as to where this is going to end. And then it went to Stolber. I was like, never mind.
No. Okay, so Moses, predict northeast for us right now, so we can bounce
You know
around.
what? It's been a while since we've seen a ruin circle, so that's going to be my guess for this time around. That Razak ruin circle.
Ruins.
We haven't seen that yet this tournament, but you know what? It is fully RNG. There is no. I mean, sometimes there's conspiracy theories like, oh, the circles are rigged. They have tournament circles. They do this and that. No, that's not how it works. And really, it can be anywhere, anyone's game. And speaking of which, it looks like everyone's got a lot of options as to where they want to go. And the space station that people were just talking to, or at least about with Sean Duras there, is that they're going to stick with the Ferry Pier landing zone.
What a surprise.
What a surprise.
What a surprise.
Everyone wants to change things up, but no one wants to do anything different.
So there was a little bit of debate also why SSG are going down there is to try and stop Groupie's rotation. So like D-Master has done this the last couple of maps whenever they've dropped here. He goes out to these far buildings to make sure Groupie aren't pushing them hard.
Right.
So they're always watching for that early rotation, know if they're going to get pressured or if they can actually take a fight too when the time is right.
Well, they even wasted a bunch of time last game where they looked like they wanted to set up an ambush for Groupie, and then Groupie just drove the opposite direction. They wasted a bunch of time and ended up coming in late to the circle. So really, if you're going to commit to something like that, you might as well go full aggression to see if you can actually seek them out before they get away from you.
Yep. That would be the dream. So the circle is up, and we have a middle circle. So
all right.
No one under real pressure to move anywhere. Even like the north, like they're still north of the river is in, so SST aren't going to be pushed out. MVP, same thing. OMG have the circle, so this is a really... I'm actually hearing applause.
Sean Duras is clapping in the background, so that's Space Station Gaming, though.
He's like, finally, we don't have to run forever to take this fight.
So looking at Secret here, they... find themselves now in a position where they can take a choke point very early. They like to hang on to this southern Milta spot, but really I don't think they really be holding anyone out of the zone just yet. Vitality nearby as well, and I think it'll be a standard issue. This is a very comfortable circle for a lot of teams.
I'm actually interested to see what happens with Tainted Minds and Snake. It's probably the closest that they've been to each other, just off to the east of the school. So this will be a closer area. TSM, MVP, EU, LGD, they're all going to come in from the same angle as well. Not too heavy on the pressure, however. Everyone's got a little bit of space to get through.
Well, there's a few options on the map I'm looking at as far as choke points are concerned. I think that Ghost is likely going to want to center fairly quickly here. Maybe take that hillside. Hey, look, it's a Red Bull AK. Two items on the screen, only 50% of them are good.
When did that guy get on the can?
They changed the can, I think a little while ago, 1 or 2 patches ago. I think they had a conflict with Red Bull. They actually
really?
Yeah, they look too similar.
Your free advertising's a bad thing these days?
Well, it actually said Hot Bull on the side, heal over time, but the can was basically identical, so I think that was a bit of a concern for them. But
fair enough. It's not like Slacks to be walking around with the Red Bull can in his pocket either, so yeah.
So looking at the map and how it's developing, Snake already on the move. They might actually end up at this hillside compound first. This garage building very strong to hold, but Snake a little bit erratic in their behavior. That's something that we've been seeing from them, and even watching them play this last game. It really seems that they speak a lot during the round, but when it comes time to fight, they really quiet down. So you got to wonder if some of their woes are due to their communication issues. They're currently in 15th place, only 20 kills.
Yeah.
United the only ones behind them, but communication's so key in this game.
Yeah, maybe if you just set it up a little bit easier, like they're pushing over towards the Northern George, and this is going to take them past the quads if they actually cross the river or not, but they can at least fortify themselves up, make the calls, and it may not just have to be down to the movement. Small things, get working. Either way, they'll have some space. As we are still waiting for that circle to constrict, we've got another 2.5 minutes before that's going to happen, and all the teams seem to be very happy. Are you actually happy to wait more outside of the blue? Just play it out and loot more, and even like burn the blue, just because everyone's not going to be in such a huge rush to get these critical positions we're talking about before.
This looks like inexperience from Snake, from my opinion. They had the opportunity to maybe send one early to a compound center, which is what we've seen a lot from teams who get that zone but don't have the best loot. They can just send one to the center, grab a compound, defend it as best they can. But Snake has opted to leave the play zone entirely and go to North George to loot. That means they're going to leave lots of time and space for other teams to get center. So Snake choosing to leave entirely and go that way is an interesting choice.
Yeah, we'll see if playing the white circle is going to work out nicely for him. Drop did come down, but no one is near that. It's north of the shelter side. We're actually talking about that during round 1 today. Just the fact, okay, this is not the one TSM won!
Ooh.
Why does every single time TSM move around get threatened when they got 2 people inside of a vehicle? The amount of times we've seen multiple players for TSM die in a vehicle maneuver.
It happens a lot, and
yeah.
I had actually an opportunity to speak with Vis before the broadcast today, just talking about how their decisions get made, and a lot of the time it sounds like they spend a lot of resources reviewing matches, but maybe so looking at how they're making their decisions and what could have gone better, but maybe some more time should be spent in looking at rotation pathing, making sure these vehicle transitions are a little easier as we see guys taking pot shots at another moving vehicle. But TSM didn't get punished that time around, but we've seen it time and time again where they just can't make it happen with vehicles.
Yep. And they just completely backed off too. Went a little bit further north. Speaking about these
Oh,
long-range fights, D-Master to get out of that car! Well, our first kill is a vehicle explosion, and it happens just off the corner of Pachinki.
That's D-Master going down early, so Space Station Gaming not having to make the trek into the current play zone, but still managing to lose one early. D-Master the first person eliminated from this game, and that's going to be McCoy picking up that loot for free.
Easy. Easy, and get away with murder. So Ghost controlling that hill to the south.
It's actually a good spot, too. They have lots of vision there.
I remember we were, like it's also an easy way to rotate off, right? Like you can move a little bit further to the east without being in too much open area.
Well, you'll have those. There's 2 red buildings just to the south of that are a nice hold as well, but they don't provide the vision that the hillside cover does. So for Ghost, holding that spot will allow them to get lots of vision on transitioning teams like Entis, Groovy, Kingwin, maybe even Snake, depending on how they want to path back into the zone unless they retrace their steps. But for Ghost, they have lots of time and space now to just kind of hang out. They've got their loot, and now they've picked up a kill as well. Space Station Gaming all of a sudden having to stop their plans entirely. And Smurf and the rest of his squad still looting here, now just outside the farm area.
Yeah, it's almost that time to start bunkering down. You've already seen a couple of teams do it. TSM have a nice little place on that high goat road that just cuts the mountain in half. You've also got EU, as we saw him taking pot shots before at LGD. They're sitting on that normal choke point that Vitality loves to rotate through. Normally they've just driven straight through it, moving to the northern circles. But this time around, Vitality waiting a little bit longer in Milta. FaZe, we know they're going to come late. Very, very late.
Well, FaZe and Vitality not having to make too much of a trek into the zone. I'm not sure if FaZe is going to do anything other than just kind of post up in the buildings that are just outside of the
Is this the
power
time
region.
when, like, for the first time we use Loggers Mill? Like
Yeah, the lumber mill. Yeah, exactly.
No one goes up there.
Well, no, but it's a nice spot to kind of. It's difficult to transition through.
Goodbye, Larson.
And we lost Larson as well. Larson, actually, another guy we talked to just through the broadcast. They have a lot of trouble making it through the mid game. They are a very aggressive team. Pick up a ton of frags. I think they are currently the kill leaders. Just behind Groovy, but regardless, they have a lot of difficulty transitioning into the end game at full strength, and that's really been the key for them to just not finish out the games that they should be winning.
The poor guy trying to just move through the road to the northwest to Pachinki goes down. But Entis will be happy. They chalk up their first one for this game.
I don't think Vitality is going to leave Milta just yet. I think that they're barely. Looks as I say that looks like they are now leaving Milta. So as far as
where do you go though? Like you've got the buildings which EU occupy, or you got the buildings on the eastern side, and you want to then push in FaZe and LGD, who are I think also in that that very, very tight region. You're about to have like almost a 3-way fight on that eastern side of the circle, and it has actually started up. So FaZe, they're taking the hillside. Yempty's in there, Fuzzface, and the rest of them are starting to arrive. And we're going to see people start to pitch tents.
This is a nice hold for FaZe. The garage building's very strong. LGD's got their own just to the east of them. So LGD split out from their compound, putting pressure onto transitioning FaZe, but I think FaZe is just as happy to hold on to that building for now. We'll see whether or not the circle decides to go north or south. Vitality likely have finished all of their looting in Milta, so now it's up to them to try and start putting pressure on FaZe as well. So for now, FaZe, a bit of a sandwich, but well protected.
Yep. Everyone's just getting their position. Snake's coming inside the circle as well. SST getting their way out of Severny. OMG, they're moving a little bit further north, but they're still perfectly all right on their side. It's this kind of range battle. Vitality, LGD, FaZe, the 3-way across open area, then EU to the north. Like this is going to be keep your heads in. Probably won't see many kills come from it, but maybe a couple of knocks, which will hurt them in the later rounds.
Well, that's what happens in these early game situations where movement is not necessary for a lot of these guys. They'll start getting into long-range poking battles with each other, and then it becomes a war of attrition where they're taking shots at helmets, taking shots at armor, reducing meds, and it looks like Ghost is now going to see Entis transitioning nearby.
They're going to see him just going straight over with the buggy. Oh, the flip, the style!
Do a barrel roll.
Yep.
Christus now having to stop, knowing that his teammate was just attacked. Temeria did survive, however.
Yeah, unfortunately that barrel roll didn't complete. It's the down turn.
Oh, Groovy.
Yeah, they're there to rain on their parade. Temeria saved by Groovy. As Ghost Turtle has to get back into Deflate. Groovy just having those houses further down the hill.
Temeria is using this opportunity to rotate
how
away.
How does Groovy not see him? Okay, no way. Yeah, they do. Temeria, one more hit. Is he in Deflate?
Oh, he's going to make it. Oh, he did make it. He got away from the line of sight from Groovy, so Temeria just barely getting away.
One lucky duck.
Groovy actually showing up almost out of nowhere in those red buildings I was talking about a little bit earlier. I'm not sure how no one saw them get there regardless.
Ghost is hunting it. They don't want to allow Temeria just to be able to walk out of this one. They've already claimed one over in the fields. Now Temeria, okay, yeah, McCoy's got the perfect line there with Valak.
Now he's
this is an impossible run. Sumpy continues to drive down the road. He knows Temeria is done for.
So it looks like Profi has posted up on the low side of the hill, maybe looking for Christus. Profi's actually super far away from his team. Not sure what the game plan is there, but Groovy has decided they want to take this right at Ghost.
This is exactly what we saw from them in day one. Aggressive pushing. You know where a team is. As for, they move up the hill.
Ghost had no idea.
He's going to be the first one knocked. They didn't realize the push was coming, and now Groovy, they hold control of Ghost's vehicle as well as the hill that Ghost wanted to hold in the first place.
Ghost got way too overcommitted to try and find Temeria. Now they're way out of position.
Running in the
Groovy
open
has
field.
taken it. Oh my God, Groovy has them dead to rights. If Balak and McCoy can't make it to the field houses.
They got to go to the next hill, though. That's the only way to do it. They have to run straight southeast in order to get the vision. They don't have the information right now.
What is Profi doing? I don't know what Profi is either disconnected from the game or is completely clueless as to what's happening to his team. As Profi is just way by himself.
If they run to the road right now, they got the vision. They know where Ghost is, and it's going to start to light up. Balak, McCoy
won't make it.
Oh, the doctor. No idea what he can do in this situation. Balak just has to try and hide it out, but you can see Groovy, they're running for the kills. They will not let Balak stay in this defilade for much longer.
Balak has nowhere to go. We now see Profi on the move. I'm not sure what the game plan here was, but for Balak, he's got nowhere to run, and now Pija is looking for blood. Gun away, running straight at him.
Yep. And Balak can just potentially, well, hide in the shadow is the only place for him. If he goes further down the road, he's going to go into the battle between Secret as well as Entis. They're battling a little bit further down. Okay, he's just going to try and have the fight, but that won't work. Is he grenade denying himself? I saw him pull it out nice and quickly. That's 20 points they won't be able to get. But no, Shade will connect.
Well, he got enough.
Oh, wow, he actually managed to, yeah, he tossed that. He managed to knock one down.
Well, they're going to go for the res and finish him off. So Ghost now down to only one. So the disconnect or AFK or whatever happened with Profi has now saved them this round, and now he's going to have to play 100% defensive. You have to wonder the strategy of Ghost here.
So the circle is pushing us a little bit further to the northwest. OMG have already made their trek over. Team Secret are the ones in the choke point, trying to keep Entis suppressed, but Vitality and OMG coming very, very close to each other. FaZe have gone the long way around. They actually took the vehicles and were driving up that eastern side all the way around the prison before they come back into the fight. So they went a long way out and actually found a loot crate on the way through.
Yeah, it looks like they did find it. Yeti picking up that crate there.
That was the AUG, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, we saw it sometime on the screen, but nice. Got an AUG. I wonder if he left it behind for the M4. Oh, no, he's going to grab it.
Yeah, it was the AUG. Yeah, memory! Okay, OMG. Yeah, you run the coastline. Vitality own the northwestern farm.
Yeah, OMG has no path in here, and they quickly recognizing that, having to stay on the beach. Now they're going to be driving right towards where Entis is, maybe circumventing them as well. Entis held up in the buildings just off the coastline, so OMG is going to have an easy transition, likely to the rocks on the south end of this island.
Yeah, that's that happy time when Groovy started pushing further back west. So yeah, more space created. Right now, Groovy is that kill leader with 60 points with the 3 kills for them. But poor GHG, that's not a happy day. Profi, the last man left alive. You got 2 kills, but probably not much more to come for this round.
That's actually, having 6 kills this early in the game is a little bit surprising, but that coming on the back of Groovy, responsible for 50% of that. FaZe taking up the nice compound just to the south of the bunkers. Sorry, I believe that's the north of the bunkers. And they're going to likely hold on here. They've probably had a very successful loot phase, so they have no need to move now.
Yep. Hold up. Wait for the next circle. TSM's in a great position. Tainted Minds have the northeastern road. SST and MVP are all coming in from that area right now. And like LGD, like they could be tanked up on the side. We're going to get a lot more crisscross of these teams. And actually looks like EU have found LGD after they came down the hill on top of the shelter.
So for all the talk of United through the last broadcast there, I would like to see them try and get a knock and maybe look for a weakness here on LGD. If they know who it is, this is something that they've talked about and what we've talked about. If they can get that seam in the defense, get that early knock, and then press forward, they might be able to get a team wipe here. LGD, not the strongest team in the tournament. They are now 14th place, and United needs to try and skip over them to try and make this make it a run for the middle of the leaderboard.
Yeah, a lot of teams will be scared of LGD once they can just position themselves like we had in the last round. But you're right, moving over, transitioning, coming from the edge of the circle has always seemed to go the wrong way for LGD. So simple kills if they can find them. I say simple.
Simple so far.
Yeah. So circle.
Nice.
Okay. Not many teams still involved in this one. Kingwin actually have a great choke point in the southern side of the circle, and TSM are the Lucky Ducks on the eastern side, and that's where a lot of people are going to be coming in too as well.
TSM is going to need to capitalize on this nice positioning. Already Snake headed towards them. Not sure if Snake is going to
go around. They're going to run straight into Vitality if they go too far south.
There's just nowhere that's going to be available for them to transition easily.
EU's leaving too.
Yeah, it's really EU's already ducking away. So EU United is actually headed right towards TSM as well. TSM is going to have to try and defend this as best they can. Space Station Gaming looking to be posturing near Groovy.
Vitality Snake's driving right in front of them. They've got a full line of sight. MVP have managed to go further north, so they'll be safe for the moment. But here comes SSG right behind Groovy. They are your leaders at the moment, and they're going for the shots. There's already your first knockout. And Poker, he doesn't know where the damage is coming from the back.
Wow, that's 2 downs very quick. He's going to try and finish it.
We can't just yet. The rest of Groovy under full siege. The grenade!
That's a smoke grenade, so it'll keep him safe for now, but it's also SSG taking some casualties.
They need some pickups.
It's a 1v1. He's going for the res. Win must know that. He's going to go for the res on Vexel now as well.
Just casualty repairing right now. Medics first.
Smurf is stuck in the smoke. He cannot provide his team any information with vision.
Well, Groovy, knowing them, they normally like to push up a little bit harder. Looks like Pajama Nerd is actually doing exactly that. Keeping them under wraps, tossing down the grenade. He'll miss it, and actually it looks like for once, Groovy with only 2 players left alive and not wanting to take this engagement. They're moving west.
Yeah, they have to back off, maybe try and get around SSG. There could be a wide flank situation. Shade is actually now returning to that fight. Win jumping back down to the farm. Smurf is going to get rezzed here, so they will maintain their advantage, but both teams took a lot of fire there.
I wonder if this almost looks like indecision, like he runs away, then he comes back in again. Oh, I remember where my car is. Well, this is the best bullet in the game, right? Just drive it straight at him. You've got to knock down Smurf. Having some problems, so Shade. Okay, no, he's just coming for a little bit of extra loot and then back into the fight.
Yeah, I think he's just going to pick up the meds and ammo of his down teammate. SSG is not in a position to fight now. Smurf still has not been rezzed. Smurf now having to crawl away, but is finished by Pija.
So they've been knocked so many times.
Yeah, well, that was just a quick. I don't think they actually got the res onto Smurf there to begin with. But regardless, SSG is still on the ropes here. Vexel has no meds to deal with right now. That's SSG doesn't want to hold this fight, I don't think.
No. Not unless they can get like some kind of easy pickup, but I don't think he's got a way to walk away from it. No helmet, a very simple knockdown. At least he's got the high-level vest, but that doesn't help if GR can connect on the headshots, and that's what they're looking for.
Yeah,
the 8-time Scarl.
Yeah. Only one shot will it take to take down Vexel once again, and if that happens, Space Station Gaming will be in very dire straits. So for Vexel and Win, they have to make the decision to engage or disengage. No circle pressure just yet, but it is about to transition once again.
The rest of the teams are still pushing in. You see Kingwin in the back up on the top left-hand corner of the screen. They're moving up towards the hillside as well. So more space. Vexel taking too much damage. He's only got the boost. So good luck to him. Team Secret made their rotation a very long way up and managed to get into the edge of Pachinki. Phase they've secured just southwest of the school.
Kingwin getting involved now with SSG there just to the north of them. Kingwin now aware with the gunshots where everybody is, so now it's up to SSG. They've maybe stayed here just a little bit too long.
Maybe time to bail out because they're going to get a little bit more attention as well. LG is moving west towards the gunshots, but they're catching Entus, who's outside the circle. They're trying to get back in at the moment.
Wow.
So they need to get through LGD.
This all of a sudden has turned into an MVP in FaZe favorite circle. FaZe having that northwest side, sorry. Antis just limping into the play zone right on top of LGD.
They managed to at least get Christus in, but some P, he's got a long way to run. And Zerka,
get that res.
Up he comes.
TSM, you can see in the bottom left corner of your screen, still
Tainted Minds he's having a crack at.
I think that's actually United transitioning in vehicles.
Oh no, Tainted Minds just walked straight into the middle of SST.
As well as United behind them. Oh, we might see a vehicle explosion here fairly quickly if Tainted Minds doesn't bail.
They got around. They got around the back.
They're all in one vehicle too.
Yep.
Oh man.
That's oh, Joshy. Crazy Sam has the angle around the corner, so SST, they've already taken these apartments.
Oh.
The rent has been paid.
United also jumping out, having to arrive a little early. Watch out!
Oh, he's going to blow up. That vehicle explosion will be enough to kill him, or you just have direct shots. So SSG, SST, all claiming some knockdowns and kills.
So it looks like Secret has also received some fire from FaZe. SST now getting it back from Tainted Minds, picking one up.
Tainted Minds were able to actually up their downed guy, so Crazy Sam, Sabrek has to go for the long run to try and grab him. But everyone's getting back into the circle. So FaZe, as you said, we're very, very happy. So is OMG, as they're actually getting a couple of kills. Team Secret just went into the horrible choke point. So OMG has the hill above them. FaZe has the lower ground.
Groovy
and
just got
then somewhere in the middle of that, they're actually all out now. Okay.
Yeah, Groovy was eliminated, so that is SSG. Now Vexel having to res win. That is still one man left standing for SSG. And we see here it's Snake hanging on right near Kingwin, who has been moving around. Zhao Zhu is down. Taking a look here at 66. He has no options right now to maneuver. Kingwin is swarming.
Snake, they got the high ground. So Kingwin and Vitality could be their own worst enemies trying to take this hill against Snake. The positioning has to be perfect for them. Still waiting for LGD to, they've managed to move all the way from the eastern side down to the southern side of this circle, pushing Entus further out. Chris is actually running back into the blue and away. I think he needs more meds or he needs something from his former teammate.
Maybe, yeah. He's running down to where his down teammate was, but the circle is now shifting. This is a still relatively fast-moving blue zone, so for Christus, he's going to really have to, San Jiang, he's going to have to now make a mad dash into the blue, or into the white, rather.
This does not feel right from Snake. They got 4 players up here. You got TC66 on the front lines, and you've also got the floating Wang at the back. They're very spaced.
The reemergence
so they will have great crossfire.
Yeah, I mean they're not managing their vision that well. With 66 laying prone in the grass, he might be a trap there, but as far as the rest are concerned, they're all spread out looking relatively the same direction. So for Vitality, they could easily split them up and eliminate them.
Cause 2 fights. LGD, they're right behind Kingwin.
Yeah, it's gonna
so you got Snake as king of the hill at the moment, but 3 full squads start to assault this hill. Kingwin from behind. Vard, I think he just got the information.
Ooh.
They know LGD is behind Kingwin. They have to deal with this first. Hunting the kills. You got 2 knocks onto LGD.
Miracu's down.
Jaxie's going to finish him up. Run back in. That circle is still coming, and they are not in.
Simba coming up on the flank. Miracu is down, and now Vitality's getting involved.
Wang got scouted out. Zherka, he'll actually go out. Play zone finishes him off.
Snake is going to play the buffer between Vitality and Kingwin, 2 teams that are still vying for top spots. Kingwin is now also engaged with Snake, so now Snake is in this Kingwin Vitality sandwich, and there's nothing they can do. Kingwin needs to try and stay strong here. They're going for the res. If they can stay 3 up, they might have a chance against Vitality.
Snake's on the run. They're getting the hell out of here. They do not want to be involved in this fight. It looks like finally Project is getting caught also on the left side, so Ghost is dealing with him at the moment.
Profi is, right on top of OMG, so we might have,
there he goes. He's gone.
That's Ghost going out in 13th place, so that's a really tough round for Ghost.
FaZe will be forced out of their buildings. MVP still the center of this new Southern School Circle. And Vitality and Kingwin, they've now got their eyes firmly locked on each other.
Well, they don't have a lot of time or space to deal with right now. Snake now moving ahead of them into the play zone. LGD still pressuring Kingwin. Vitality not letting go of this fight, so this southern end of the play zone is going to heat up.
Simba in on the side. Gaxie's still in the neighborhood, but he's having a bigger problem with Buganino behind the tree.
Land it.
But it's too many from too many angles. Kingwin back into repair zone at the moment. Vitality are not making the most out of this. In fact, they're just moving north, and they've found TSM, so TSM are forced to look behind themselves to try and take this fight.
Now all of a sudden, TSM finding themselves on the flank. That's one down for TSM. Zhao Rong taking out San Jiang, so I believe Entis is now eliminated. Now it's going to be up to TSM to try and defend against this Vitality push, as neither of them are in the play zone. TSM does have the positioning advantage.
Kingwin actually lost another one to the play zone too. Miraku has to do the run, the sole survivor of that Kingwin slaughter. Tainted Minds and SST are still vying for control of the apartments block area. It's only barely inside the circle with the buildings they've got, but barely is still enough. That's the Southwest battle. OMG looking to try and finish off Kritis so they can just move on, but Kritis has the positioning at least. He just doesn't have the manpower.
So with that TSM,
ooh, he actually got him.
And
the circle's moving in. He may actually go down. I don't know if OMG can actually recover him.
There's nothing they can do. Kingwin was just eliminated as well in 11th place, so now it's TSM and Vitality still tangled up on the edge of the play zone. Christus is down, so that is now down to 9 teams remaining. United also taking casualties. I would like to see if TSM can manage to get out of there. Now Rari is down, smack in the blue zone.
How does TSM get out of this?
Yeah, they're in the smoke. They're going full defensive here, and they've actually lost Vis, and there's only one man standing. Rari now down.
They're getting shot from the side too, so Snake knows what's going on.
Vitality rolled right over them.
Yep. Moving through like a freight train. Snake couldn't control him much more than that, but now MVP can look back up the hill, so they managed to not only knock but kill Monkey off. So Vitality, not the result they were looking for, to now be down to 3 players. And the new circle, here's your encouragement at MVP.
Max out.
It's like wave the Korean flag high, the circle is yours.
So that is Vitality eliminating TSM. Only one casualty taken, but that was from MVP. So TSM, I'm not sure, picked up any kills in that round. We'll have to see the final score to be sure, but they are down in 9th place. Not what they wanted to see here.
All right, so here's actually your update. So TSM have 1 point with 2 left alive. Here's the latest update going into our board.
Well, the board is not updated with the who's alive, but TSM did manage to get that 1 kill and going out in 9th place. That's not going to be a great boost for them looking to get it back into the top 8, but now it's going to be OMG and Snake Vitality all vying for this edge of the play zone.
Yeah, OMG want to try and deal with Snake. They know they're on the side. They can't push down the hill until they do so. And that's exactly what's happening. Zhaozhu taken out, leaving only TC66 left. It was OMG who was the one to get that kill, even though there is the crossfire from Vitality. And they are just kneading the crap out of him. Snake.
Missing that.
Oh, actually, he does hit that one.
I thought that was...
He just needs to deal with Silent now, but Silent's got a nade of his own, cooking it perfectly. And hits the money. Pick up your teammate and get the hell out of Dodge.
So that is Snake now eliminated. So look who it is in the middle of the play zone. It's FaZe and MVP. MVP spread out in the center, grabbing as much real estate as they can. Tainted Minds and SST battling in the apartment's edge. Here's Gabba being pressed straight on.
Everyone's coming out of this right now. No one can remain in apartments. They must make a break for the hill.
Easy peasy, man. Looking for another
Where's
pick
the
on Vitality.
SST run? Sabrak actually gets knocked inside the apartments. He's lost. No one can really get him.
No, that's going to be the play zone eating him up.
Tainted Minds are waiting a very long time for this one. MVP still on the hill. That's why they know they can't push out.
Great spot for them, too.
Yeah. Terrific for them until Vitality and FaZe get the angle. As you see FaZe trying to have a crack at Pang.
Actually, that's Vitality. I think they're shooting at Vitality or maybe even up
all the way up the hill?
Yeah, it looks like it. And Tainted Minds getting flanked.
Yeah, they know Gabba is there. He's going back inside the blue. Extrude's going to take care of him.
OMG.
And there goes SST.
Looks like Vitality's still taking casualties. TM now getting in from FaZe.
It's just a slaughter. It is a full slaughter. Tainted Minds, unless Subslayer can hit the absolutely amazing shot. He actually got it, but he got knocked by Otan.
I think they just got... Oh, no.
And it's Benchu from the side.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if they had just been eliminated, but Benchu is there.
All right. MVP still have 3 up, but one of them is currently downed. FaZe are moving more aggressively. They're looking to take care of these extra little flankers on the side. They control the entire west side of the circle. They are so spread out, but their angles are good.
Might get a res here. MVP, Zerotan looking to try and get a res onto his teammate. Very possible. Pang holding the north side of the zone. OMG Still holding on one strong. This could be a very quick 4th place or 3rd place finish for one of these teams if they're not careful. Vitality still holding on to Shiv there as well, but the circle about to restrict, but it is all about FaZe. 4 strong still.
Oh, look at MVP's positioning though. They realize what Tainted Minds are up to. They're going to deal with them nice and quick. FaZe, they can take that side of the circle, but O-Tan cleans up the mess. And now they look towards the final circle. MVP have a clear line up the hill. They know that because Pang is already sitting up there. So it's the random players of OMG and Vitality who are the unknown factors in this 3-on-4 fight between FaZe and MVP.
The circle is going to force them in behind, but closer to FaZe than for MVP. So MVP needs to move right at FaZe now. They do have the benefit of the circle. So this now excellent position they had is no longer viable. So they're going to need to maybe try and form up and clear out the edge of the play zone.
If they do that, they're going to find the 2 singles. But O-Tan, he's got the line. He just needs a quick shot. Something to try and knock down FaZe, put them in recovery mode and not in kill mode.
If they can get it down here, that might give them the time and space they need to move. But they've only got 4 or 5 seconds to try and make this decision. Looks like Zero10 is going to look for that wide flank.
Yep.
See if he can put some damage onto FaZe.
All right, here comes your circle. Push, push, push. Shiv.
Oh!
He was battling on the outside of it, so Pang's able to knock up another one for MVP. That leaves only OMG, but they've got 8 kills for this round so far, so even a top 3 position, they'll be very happy with this. Pang gets knocked down by Jempty, so MVP, they do not have the numbers against this. O-Tan trying to make it work better for him, but he just can't get a knockdown on the FaZe.
They're baiting for Hax. Hax has now moved, or sorry, Fuzz rather, has moved up on the flank. Standing up on that rock might seem silly.
Saw it. Oh, yeah, O-Tan just got a glimpse of it. He knows what's going on. And it's the last remaining player of OMG that has to hide behind the tree, who has the attention of Fuzz.
Circle's going to get him if he's not careful, having to bandage only.
He's got one more tree.
Yeah,
he can move a little bit closer.
2 ticks and he's dead, essentially, but Fuzz is going to see him.
Time.
Ooh, just barely snuck in there, I think. Oh, no, he's not quite in yet.
His advantage is the fact the rest of MVP is focusing in. So Fuzzface, he gets brought down from down the hill. MVP pushing on the remaining 3 players who stuck together from FaZe. They're low, they're getting injured. Where are these grenades? Where are these nice lobs?
Here they come.
O-Tan pushing. Do they see it? There's your hit. O-Tan got Jempty, and right behind the rock, O-Tan back to back. Looking for Haxet too. He's the last man left standing here for FaZe. Right behind the small little shed. He'll find Siege around the corner. And now his turn with the close range. Looking for the 3rd. But it won't happen. It is MVP, the last man standing. A singular player in Pang to survive until the very end. But now back-to-back winners. Round 9 and round 10.
Wow, that was an incredible last stand from...
Look at that. Look at that. It's a happy day.
Oh, man, they have to be so excited, so happy. When we talked about this in the mid-game show there, where we were talking about the Koreans and Chinese teams now starting to get that flow of the game, starting to understand what's going on. They're finding their stride, and that's 2 wins in a row for MVP.
Terrific times. Hi, boys. Welcome back.
Oh, that was an amazing game.
Wow. That was amazing.
Holy moly.
I actually thought there at the very end that Hax might have pulled that out. We went to the first-person view, and it was any man's game there. And that was down to the wire within 2 shots, potentially, of that being a different result for FaZe. But now that's 2 for MVP. FaZe getting a nice, nice second place. But wow, what a finish.
Not just a win, but an 11-kill win for MVP.
Yeah, that's a huge, huge pickup for them.
Big pickup
for them. They will go actually now in the range of the 3.3K almost.
They've got
which is putting them most likely into the top 4.
That's incredible.
And that's fantastic.
All smiles.
Maybe not top 4 yet.
Oh, absolutely.
Might be close.
Yep.
But it will be really getting closer to competition, let's say like that, when it comes to the
It's actually really good for the 2 guys. Like both MVP and OMG. Like OMG had so many kills in that round too, and they still placed up in the top 3. So a lot of points rolling in. Absolutely love it.
I mean, I think that might be enough to put them over Ghost here. But real quick, we have a representative from MVP.
Oh, look who it is.
I remember
who it is.
Hi, Ken. Hi.
He's back. Well, hello. It's been so long since we've seen you.
Feels like ages ago.
I don't think we have.
There we go. All right.
오랜만에 봐서 반갑습니다라고 인사를 하셨네요.
다음번에 또 뵙겠다고.
He just said, you might see again in the next round.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
I
I like it.
Okay.
So, okay, I gotta ask, the last game, we mentioned that you finished in first, but it was very, very low kill. This time, a lot of kills. Is that kind of what we should expect now from MVP?
그 지난 라운드하고 다르게 이번 라운드에서 킬을 좀 많이 하면서 우승을 했잖아요. Wait a second. I just forgot your last question.
Will there be more kills?
Will there be more
kills?
그래서 그게 기대하신 상황이었는지, 기대하셨던 상황이었는지.
저희가 세 번째 원에서 그 주변에 적들이 다 있었는데 딱 사람이 없는 곳으로 갔다가 근데 거기서 계속 원이 잡혀줘서 저희는 계속 킬을 풀어 담을 수밖에 없어요.
So it was really lucky that the third pace of the circle they got a possession and then they realized that it's like surrounded by all the enemies and then they found the only one spot is free and then they get in there and then they had no choice to avoid of the combat.
Do you actually prefer to take the combat? Like, do you prefer to sit in the circle and fight, or do you prefer to move with the circles?
그러니까 교전 자체를 이 서클이 잡혔을 때 들어가서 어떤 싸우는 것을 더 선호하는지 아니면은 위치를 찾는 것을 더 선호하는지 좀 이게 좀 어려운 질문인데요.
일단 그러니까 비집고 들어갈 공간이 있다면은 거기를 무조건 들어가고서 시작하는 스타일.
So we prefer the position. If we clearly like have information and then that's our like first priority to target.
So now that you're used to the environment for the tournament, do you feel more confident going into the last games today and tomorrow?
일단 지금 많은 라운드를 진행하면서 첫 번째 데이와 두 번째 경기일보다 훨씬 더 이제 좀 더 편한 상황이 됐을 것 같은데 더 많은 걸 기대할 수 있을 것 같은데.
아직 남은 라운드가 많으니까 저기서 좀 더 좋은 모습을 보여주도록 하겠습니다.
Yeah, there are many rounds still remain, and they will try with the best.
I have a question. When it comes to the preparations for the tournament, did they try to scout as much as possible the European and then North American teams, like watch their votes or something?
그 이번 대회를 준비하셨을 때 특별히 유럽 팀들, 뭐 북미 팀들 이런 해외 팀들에 대한 정보라든가 이런 부분들을 많이 준비하고 토너먼트에 참가하셨는지요?
일단은 국내 대회가 거의 다 3인칭으로 이루어지다 보니까 저희가 1인칭의 경험이 너무 부족해서 일단은 그러니까 그 전에 있던 저희 국내 대회에서 경험도 쌓고 그리고 이제 주 뭐 IEM이나 스타레더 경기를 보면서 많은 공부를 했습니다.
So the environment in South Korea is most likely focusing to the TPP.
Right.
So they are really racking up the experience with the FPP, but there are several tournaments they can actually learn and study. So that's the thing they actually like analyze before they came to this area.
Well, a great performance coming out of MVP. 2 back-to-back wins. Back-to-back. Are we going to see 3?
Okay.
3? Okay. Well, thank you very much once again. We'll let you go back to your teammates. But again, congratulations. Very high kill win. And you can see now, MVP making it into the top 5. 5th place in points. So
지금 이제 이번 경기를 통해서 또 5등에 들어왔습니다. 그래서
And very close to the top 2.
점수 차이가 지금 상위 두 팀하고 거의 차이가 이제 안 나는 상황까지 왔는데 남은 경기 좋은 활약 기대하겠습니다.
더 올라가야죠.
Yeah, he said. I mean, yeah, obviously that's the place we need to go up.
Yeah, you don't want to go down.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys as well. But yes, a phenomenal performance coming out of MVP. We could see him here, starting off in Yasnaya, and you know, not having to transfer extremely far, but you know, making their way through. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Through the Yasnaya field, through school, through all of this, it just never seemed to get too entirely populated. How were they able to transition?
It's so
I don't want to say easily, but so successfully. I guess.
With those circles that are in the middle of the map, it seems like there's entire focus on the south side of the circles.
Right.
Always.
Yep.
Everyone doesn't want to adjust. They just want to stick to their positions. Grubby is like just trying to get a hold of teams, snipe them out. But this is one of the first situations when they actually got, you know, caught themselves. And we had a situation between Grubby and SSG, from what I remember.
Yeah, it took a lot of time.
Yeah, it was like a duel between 4 players. Then it was a 2v2. They spent, I think, like minute and a half in one position before they both fell back, right? So
it would have been hard to predict as well, because the circle kept coming north, and it kept coming further north, and then a little bit west. But like Gruby had more problems just battling around Pachinki. Like, they spent so much time having that little fight that I don't think they ever really got into that better second position they were looking for once they established inside the circle.
Well, on top of which, I think it's worth mentioning that your teams that you would expect maybe to come in from this western edge, the southwestern edge, your Ghost, your SSG, Entis, all of these teams suffered so much loss from fights they ended up engaging in a little bit earlier. So it may have inadvertently cleared the way for MVP to kind of maintain that position that they had.
It was Moses, you were commenting about it, right? Like, there's like 6 kills in the first circle, and you're like, wait, what the hell is this? Like,
yeah, it's actually really strange, and a lot of that actually happened with Ghost. Ghost positioning was a complete, I mean, nightmare for them. They had this issue where they let Gruby get, and you're actually seeing this happen right now with Ghost holding Ghost holding this position on the hill. Gruby trucks right in below them, getting into the reds below them, and then they chased the kills that they had, I believe, on Entis, and then they got completely flanked by Gruby. Well, not to mention Profi. He's just down here by himself, completely spread out from his team, either still looting or trying to get more meds or something. I'm not sure what he was doing.
He dies.
But he stayed there right through that entire fight, made no effort to try and help his team. So you got to wonder the communications happening on Ghost.
I almost want to say that is just kind of, in a nutshell, the difference between NA and EU playstyle.
Right.
NA, if that happens in NA, Grubby does not push that.
No.
If Grubby is an NA team, they don't end up pushing Ghost there when Ghost is chasing down Entis. But Grubby is so aggressive, so they know when they have the opportunity to move. They know when they're safe.
Ghost just assumed that they were going to stay in those houses because it's safe.
Yeah.
That is not Gruby's play style. They will come out and they will fight at any time. And looking at positioning, MVP's spot, the way they held up that little zone outside the apartments, they had tons of vision there. It was a really great spot for them. They managed Vitality, OMG, FaZe all around them, and secures themselves that victory. So that was a really nice hold from MVP at the end as well.
One very
oh my God!
Whoa!
Trying to speed it up a little bit.
Buzzface is teleporting.
Yeah, but one thing that's really interesting is from all of those teams, I think the best rotations that we have seen so far in this game were done by FaZe.
Right.
What they did is a very, very interesting move. They basically said, oh, we hear like 20 weapons being fired at once from this area here.
Let's go all the way north.
All the way up
here. We're just going to go up here, make a full rotation, end up on the other part of the circle on east, and that's it. We're going to chill for like a 2 circles rotation, I think.
This did seem to be like the alley of death, just going straight up from Milta. Like,
well, it's an actual valley, too. It's an actual valley in that area, so you can get caught out and killed very easily. We actually, Toby and I talked to Yempty just before the first game there, or sorry, our first game, or the second game of the day, and Yempty said, like, when they hear gunfire, this is exactly what they'll do. They'll jump in their vehicles and they'll get away from that area because it's just not worth it for them to go into a fight with little information. So you can see that happening here where they just rotate all the way along the top.
FaZe doing intelligent rotations. Who would have ever thought? Oh, my God. My Lord.
Well, I have to tell one thing.
Really zoomed in.
FaZe is very good at avoiding Potato Mountain. The curse of Potato Mountain.
That place sucks.
Everyone that goes there dies. Have you noticed that?
I go there. I die there all the time.
We literally had 4 teams at the same time battling here. And that was something that is not really seen often in competitive gaming.
Right.
Usually teams are trying to avoid like being caught in a situation when they have like 3 teams fighting each other. So
I love it with that low resolution. Almost looks like there's 2 eyes on the mount, and he's holding a gun, just pointing it back at himself. Like if you do an artist impression of that. It's just like all of our bike wheels look like smiley faces.
TSM, look, TSM is dead center in the middle of the circle, in a compound. They have these teams transitioning towards them. I believe it was both Tainted Minds, Vitality. A bunch of people drive right past them. They end up with 1 kill.
Actually, let's take a look at some highlights here. You can see SSG. This is the fight. This is the fight early that we were
This is the one
about.
that probably takes like 2 minutes to watch now.
It was a long fight here, and really it didn't really benefit anybody. Gruby and SSG taking a ton of damage. And here's United, a team that, wow, I don't think they ended up in 10th place with 0 kills again.
United, yes, 10th place, 0 kills, 190 points.
Well, they
better
did
than nothing. but
they did get placement points, so that is a nice 200 points.
It was better than Team Secret, who drove through absolutely everyone, got wrecked, and then got 16th in the early stages.
Wow.
That was a very sad performance for Secret.
This is MVP and FaZe at the end.
I have to say, the last
situation,
the confrontation between FaZe and MVP, with the AUG, that was a really fantastic
Hax almost
duel.
won it. Like, one goes down, 1v1, and Hax has any more health. Look how, oh my god, look how little health he had. Like, Hax takes down one. And
look at this.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Hip shot it with the AUG.
The hip shot AUG. And look at
That's within 1 or 2 shots, maybe even 1 shot of FaZe winning that. That's how close it came. His health is down to next to nothing, and if it wasn't for Hax taking damage already, Hax really played that as best he could, but there he is.
And there he is. Here's that man.
Hey.
Fantastic
hello.
play.
Well, hello. How are you?
We were just talking about that end sequence there. We actually just watched it. One bullet. One bullet was the difference.
One bullet, and it's like 210 points more, right?
Yeah, that's tough, man.
That's
but
how close it is.
When Fuzz went out to flank, I mean, was that to get vision on MVP, or was that for the last remaining players out the edge?
We knew there was one solo guy on the rock, right? So he was like there to like hold, like so they don't push. But we should have just pushed from the left side when we knocked one of them, right? So we should have just pushed, and we probably could have won by pushing instead of just waiting.
So in that situation, when you have, you know, it's just down to 1 or 2 guys, what's the feeling? Like, what's going through your mind? Like, are you thinking, like, what do I like the AUG? I mean, we were just talking about it. You hip fired the second to last guy, so you have to know the pressure's coming.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
What more has to be said? The guy knows the pressure's coming.
I want to ask about the rotations, because we talked about the fact that you kind of abandoned the east side of the circle in the beginning of the game and just went all around the map to the other side of the circle here, end up nearby just west side. And there was a deliberate decision, of course, from you, but what was the reasoning, what was the exact reason of doing that rotation?
We felt like it was too hard for us to get into the zone from where we were, because we saw Vitality holding there. We had to like just go back the way we came, and there was one more team like somewhere uphill, so we just had to go back the way we came, go where we know it's safe, and just find a way, find somewhere that's safe.
It's interesting that you are the only team that is actually doing this rotation, and not many more, because all of those teams here, they can do the same thing unless they don't have vehicles, right? So
this is the second time we saw it. You did the same thing. There's the reverse way the last game as well, or the last game before this one where you went all the way south. So do you just actively avoid that kind of congestion, that fighting?
Yeah, I mean, if we see that there's teams blocking our way to get into the zone, we find a different way.
Is it true that you believe Potato Mountain is haunted? Ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
There's one team named like that, but I don't think that matters.
Well, I don't think they have to believe
in ghosts.
From what I've seen.
For all the experience you've had, I think FaZe arguably has the most experience facing Korean teams, going to Korea to play against them and now playing against them here. What do you notice about them in the change in their play style?
I haven't seen that much change in play style. Maybe they're like more adapted to not hiding back cover so much. They peek more, they do more pushes. So I think they adapted a little bit.
So more aggressive?
Yeah, more aggressive.
And that thing comes into the metagame with FPP, right? Because you're not being out in the open like on a frying pan, basically running.
Right. So looking at all the different regions, because there's been lots of talk about EU versus NA and then in Southeast Asia as well. So who do you think gets to be more prominent faster, NA or Korea?
Korea.
Wow. There you have it.
Well, now it's not only EU, but also Korea better.
Is EU not in this run at all?
Well, no, EU is arguably, I mean, FaZe and most of the other teams being from EU, the Western EU is, I think, arguably the better teams.
You guys
in the world
you're
right now,
doing this just to tilt me. I know this is intentional. You're stabbing the knife in and just twisting. But I mean, look, I can't disagree. MVP, the Korean teams are rapidly improving with it seems every international tournament, and it's not going to be long before they're going to be right up there with the EU, or with the NA, with EU. Who knows? Who knows how long it'll be? Maybe it could be before the end of the year.
It could be before the end of this tournament.
Could be before the end of this tournament. That's 2 in a row for MVP.
Question to you: do you think this tournament's actually tougher than the previous one? The play wasn't in Kiev, or this one is easier than the previous one?
I think it's about the same.
Same.
Okay. Well, the points are almost nearby each other. You are just reached 4K mark on your first place, but right behind you is Vitality with 3.7. Then we have actually 55 points behind Grubby. That's 3 kills. That's almost nothing, right? The change in kills, did that affect you guys?
No, we don't really think about the kills too much. We're just trying to get 4 alive into the late game and try to get the top 5 every game. That's our goal.
All right.
Now that you're first place, is there any change in strategy coming up?
No.
Players in game.
You're a terrifying guy, dude. I mean, you come up there. We don't want to change anything. We're not going to lose. All right. I think you should be a free man back to your team. But before you go, you're so nice. You're so calm. I just want you to look into that camera right there and say something scary. Because these teams are all scared of you. I want them to see something in. So zoom in on this man. Give me one scary thing to say to those teams. Go ahead.
I don't know what to say. That's scary.
That's scary.
That's terrifying.
That's the real terror.
He has nothing to say. That's even scarier.
All right, my man.
Thanks,
You're
Hax.
a free man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
He doesn't even know what to say. He kills people. He doesn't even know what to say.
He was definitely in his comfort zone.
Yeah,
Oh,
100%. Just put him on the spot and do some improv.
I love doing that.
Everybody just slides right into improv so
That's
easily.
the most talkative guy on FaZe, by the way.
I know. I only did that because when I went to go get him, the rest of the team told him, you got to go get this guy. And he wouldn't move. So I had to drag him in the chair halfway. So.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap it up for Game 2. We are going to get our players in lobby right now to go to Game 3. We will be